Okay, now let's deal with these checkboxes here. Now, in our original code, we said when we created a new task object, we have our description and our completed as an empty string or as the word completed. Where did we do that? Up here? Yeah, we set it to completed. So what we want to do instead now, when we're working with these elements, I actually want this now to be true or false. They're going to be the Boolean value true or false. And you'll see the reason for that in a moment. I actually need to fix, well, no, what I need to do here is in this checkbox element, what we can do is we can go, actually, let me show you in the HTML first. In the HTML, I'm just going to put a random checkbox in here, right? You can see, boom, there's my checkbox. We can actually specify by just adding a checkbox attribute, and you don't have to go equals anything. It's just either there or it's not there. And, oh, sorry, not checkbox, checked attribute. And if that checked is there, it's checked. Okay? And it's kind of like this is a Boolean. If the checked is there, it's true. If it's not there, it's false, and it won't be checked. All right, so what we want to do when we're creating our checkbox elements here, right, in our getTaskHTML, I want to go checkbox element, and I want to set that checked property, or checked attribute, sorry, to be whatever, well, let's just do true for now. And if I did that, every element that I'm making, right, because remember I'm calling this function getTaskHTML with each of the elements in my array, they're all going to be true. But I want them to be whatever task.checked is equal to, right? And, oh, not checked, completed, task.completed. And right now, task.completed is false, right? If I said, no, task.completed is going to be true, then every time I draw, hey, oh, we got a glitch. Completed is true. Checkbox element dot checked is assigned task dot completed. Oh, why isn't this working? What did I do here? Task gives, I have a description, which we use there, and then task dot completed. Event listener, and then we add it. I did save it, but it is not working. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and do some troubleshooting. I'll try to explain what's going on. Okay, so I think I just paused it there, and all I did really was just print out my tasks array, and I noticed that, hey, wait a second, how come my completeds are still these empty strings? They're supposed to be true or false. And the reason for that, I believe, is that we're loading from local storage, right? We're doing this init tasks, and in local storage, we still have it saved the old way. So I'm going to do a local storage.clear. Okay, so that should clear it. So when I refresh, it should be empty, right? So my task array right now is just empty. So now if I say do something cool, there it is. Okay, so then it created a new task, and the new task now uses this function, which had the true value there. Okay, good. All right, but we don't want it initialized to true, we want to initialize to false. And now, of course, this is still checked because it was loaded as true. All right, because my local storage has it as true. Okay, so we have to make it change. So I'm gonna clear local storage again. And the reason this is weird is because we have to be able to control these things ourselves by checking those boxes. So we have an event listener for that. And before we did this toggle task, right? Please enter the number to toggle. If it was empty, we made it this. If not, we're going to be able to do this a lot simpler now. But again, we do need the index. So that nice little trick here that we did with our buttons about the data set, we're going to also do that for our checkbox. I'm just going to put it here. And we'll say checkbox element dot dataset dot index is assigned index, so that when we get the target element for in our event listener, we'll be able to access the data set to know the right index value, just like with the button. Okay, so now we're in here. So I'm actually going to copy this, right? Get index of task to toggle, because when we click that checkbox, we want to toggle the completed, right? And now that it's true or false, when it was the empty string and the completed string, we have to check, well, if it was empty, make it completed, otherwise make it empty. When it's Boolean values, we can just use the not operator just to toggle it. So we can simply go tasks at task index. So that'll get that object. Dot completed is assigned not, the exclamation mark is the not operator, task at task. You know, it's really annoying to do that. Should I just go let task be assigned task at task index, and then I can, oops, and then I can simply go task.completed is assigned not task.completed. That way I don't have to do this, spell it properly. That way I don't have to do this square bracket task index every time, right? I look inside of my array at that index for the object, right? This is my task object. Task.completed is assigned not task.completed. I have now modified my array, so I should save tasks, and then I should display tasks. Reuse those functions. Awesome. Now, this should hopefully work. I don't think we're going to see it. Blah, blah, blah is the first thing. And oh, I still have my console.log the keys. And this is another thing. If I check this off, it shows it. If I look at my task array, yeah, the first one completed true, completed false. Oh, and you know what? I think this might actually, and what if I uncheck it? If I uncheck it, yeah, that should work because I clicked it. So it should change it to false. Okay. Is that all I have to do? That might be good. Oh yeah, because I already added it here, right? That I set the check property to task.completed. So if I check this off and I hit refresh, yeah, because it set the check to be whether it was completed or not, true or false. So that works. The only thing maybe I might want to do yet is before we had this completed strike through thing. So we could do that again. Add that class if we wanted to. Okay. So I would simply do that here. Yeah, because we can access the element's class property. And I think here I need to do an if statement. If task.completed, then I want to go checkbox element dot class. Now, you can't just do dot class for some reason. You have to do class name or class list. Class list has these methods like add class, remove class, toggle class. But I think we just want to do the class name, and this just overwrites everything. And we'll just give it the class of completed. And I think that should, doesn't do it. Checkbox, oh no, because we don't want the checkbox element. Hold on. Yeah, I'm in the wrong spot here. We want this to be down here because we want it on the text node. Oh, I have no idea if this is going to work. I've never done this before. Text element dot class name. Can you add a class to a text node? I've never tried before. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, because it's just a text node, and I guess you can't apply styles to it. Okay, so we're gonna redo this here. We're gonna call this our text span element, and we're gonna create an element. We're gonna create a span element. That's cool. And then all we have to do is do our text span element dot inner HTML is assigned task dot description. Right, so instead of just a plain text node, we're going to make it a span, because then we can style that span. Text span inner task description, good. If tasks are completed, then our text span element will get the class name completed, and then down here we need to add our text span element. Hey, there it is. Okay, so yeah, we can't just style those text nodes. We have to have an actual element to style. So uncheck it, check it, uncheck it, check it, remove it, add stuff, check things off, remove things. This is awesome. Right, so we don't have that little menu in the Go button anymore. The more advanced GUI, just type, hit enter, checkboxes, remove elements, creating these elements, checking things. Wow, I hope you learned something in this. And like I said, in terms of our skills with functions and data structures, I think you saw, again, just reusing functions is useful. We're updating our array, right? Task.completed is like not task.completed with those objects, getting all the information. The main thing is just being able to work with the GUI and the elements, and that data set is really useful, right? You store data with the elements. Okay, so I hope you can find a use for this in your own projects so that you can have more advanced graphical user interface when you make your stuff. Okay, take care and see you next video.